Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck here, and what I have with me today is the brand new release of QSC's Compact series of monitors, the CP8 and the CP12. And they're called that because the 8 has an 8-inch woofer and the 12 has a 12-inch woofer. But basically, they're both the same design. They're both 800 watts on the lower frequency driver and 200 watts on the higher frequency driver. So basically 1,000 watts, which is about half of the power of the Dot 2 series. All right, so they're both mountable on a pole mount at the bottom. They have standard pole mounts on the bottom. And if you turn it over on the side, it's angled so you can use it as a wedge or a studio monitor. Okay, so otherwise I've got it standing up straight for a performance on the stage or wherever you happen to be at. And the CP8 weighs 21 pounds, and the larger brother, the CP12, weighs 30 pounds. So we're talking about really lightweight stuff for 1,000 watts each, and QSC quality. So, wow, I'm really impressed. And on the top, you've got a handy carrying handle, so you can carry these with one hand. They don't weigh much, so it's you could carry a pair of these, one in each hand, and it's not going to affect anything. All right, so looking at the back panel, you've got a couple of inputs that are a combination of quarter-inch TS or XLR inputs. Now that's line A and line B. And each one of them has their own separate gain controls. And also, if you look on the right over here, you will see a limiter and a power LED. So it tells you when the limiter is on, also tells you when the power is on. All right, but with each one of these, whether you're on A or B, you have a separate gain control. And when you're playing something, you can see there's a signal indicator that comes on, whether I'm on the CP8 or on the CP12. You can see when a signal is present, that LED lights up. On line B, you also have a mic boost over here. So when you press it, you get a LED that lights up in yellow. It gives you a 25 dB mic boost. So if you do have a mic hooked up to your B input, you'd want to press that so that you make sure that you get enough power to power these from your mic. Then you have stereo aux, which is a line C input. So basically that is an 1/8 inch TRS or stereo cable that you'd hooked up to your iPhone or an MP3 player or anything like that. And no volume or gain control on that because you can control that from your MP3 player or your iPhone or whatever. Okay, and then you have mix out post gain. So basically it's an XLR output, and this is what you would feed to front of house or to somewhere else. And then on each one of these you have a contour knob over here, which has some predefined EQs. Default with an external sub. Dance with an external sub. Floor monitor, so that when you're on stage using it as a wedge or a monitor, you'd set it to that. Speech, so that when you have a microphone hooked up, so you're using this as a PA. But I like to keep this on default for all intents and purposes for this video. All right, so without further ado, let's get going and see what these things sound like. Right now, I've got this hooked up to the CP8s, and let's take a look at what that sounds like right now. Let's try the same thing on the CP12. each one of these reproduces the bass to die for. So let's try it again with the higher end. That's the CP8, CP12. Now you are hearing the actual monitors here because I have these mic'd up, and the mics on each one are placed at the exact same place between the woofer and the tweeter on each one. They're 12 inches from each, so you're going to get an accurate reproduction of what each one sounds like. Try the same thing on the CP8s. Alright, let's try a couple other pianos here. Here's a Grand Imperial on the CP8. And on the CP12. Now, of course, the CP12 with 12 inches of woofer can move a lot more air than an 8-inch, obviously. So the one thing that I forgot to mention is that the CP8 has a 90-degree dispersion, and the CP12 has a 75-degree dispersion. So it can throw out farther, whereas the CP8 can throw out wider. And let's try a couple other things over here. An electric piano. CP12. Try some bright tines. CP8. Wurlitzer. CP12. Harpsichord. CP8. Harpsichord CP12. Clavinet. Try it on the CP12. CP12. And let's try a couple other things. Let me turn on the synth section here and see what we can come up with. Some legato strings on the CP8. And on the CP12. violins on the CP8 and on the CP12. Try some flutes. And let's try that on the CP12. How about a flute on the CP8? And the CP12. Some brass strings on the CP8. And the CP12. Steel guitar. CP12. How about a 12-string guitar? CP12. Here's a nylon guitar. And on the CP12. Here's a marimba. And on the CP12. Well, glockenspiel. And on the CP12. Let's try a cathedral organ on the CP8. And on the CP12. Let's try a choir. CP8. CP12. Here's a Kumar Performer, string 1. And on the CP12. Here's a horn saw on the CP8. And on the CP12. lead standard. CP8, that's now the CP12. Let's try an attack bass in L2X on the CP8. And the CP12. So that should give you a basic idea of how the two of these sound. Now, if you're going to be doing like a piano gig, like I do a lot of piano gigs for private parties and things like that, the CP8 will do you just fine. But if you're going to be playing it in a band and you're a keyboard guy, the CP12 is the way to go. So, I mean, you can't lose with either of these, but the CP12 is the way to go if you're in a band. And even if you're doing solo gigs as a pianist, you can't lose out with the CP12. But if that's all you're doing, or if you even want to use this for some reason as your studio monitors or reference monitors, you could do that, and the sound is that great. So I hope this has helped you out. There'll be more videos with these monitors in the future. Check it out. Piano Man Chuck. Peace out. Thanks for watching.